Yo, what is up guys? Welcome back to the channel. This is going to be an exciting video because it's something that I've been wanting to do on the M45 for some time, which was replace the steering wheel, and we got an aftermarket DND steering wheel, which is Alcantara, as you can see right there. Carbon fiber horn. It looks really sick and I'm so excited to go ahead and install this as the quick release attachment to it. And then I also have a short hub, which is this right here. I don't think this is NRG, it might be like another brand unless they remove the sticker. And then we have this right here from NRG as well, which is a quick release mechanism that goes on. The only thing that I need right now is going to be the T30 attachment that you need to remove the bolts on the airbag. So we're going to go ahead and pick that up right now at Home Depot. For example, these right here, I have two of them, but one of them is messed up, which is this one right here. For some reason the end came off and I'm not sure if the person tried to fix it or what, but we're gonna have to try to find something to be able to fix this with. I'm sure I can find like a fuse and, you know, find this right here and just fix it myself. And then we have this for the horn to get the ground so we can have a functional horn. I'm not too concerned really about the airbag because I already have mine on the M45. Yeah, let's go ahead and head over to Home Depot and then we'll pick it back up once we find those parts. So here's how my steering wheel looks right now for the M45. It's exactly the same for the M35 as well. And as you can see, it's in, you know, pretty bad shape. The steering wheel from the top right here, as you can see, it's missing all the leather from this section right there because it completely ripped. And I guess it's very common on these cars actually, because when I was going to the junkyard, every single M35 or M45 that I would find had the same exact issue. I thought that, you know, the previous person was just going on here and, you know, picking at it and then ripping it, but it's actually very, very common, and I would find it like on every single one. I believe it's just because of sun damage. You know, this part of the steering wheel is going to hit the sun a lot more and end up cracking or ripping. It's a very old car from 2006, especially if you leave your car out in the sun all day, you know, it's gonna get prone to ripping a lot quicker. And the only downfall to really having an aftermarket steering wheel, of course, is going to be losing your airbag. You can buy OEM ones, they do make them for this car, but they're, you know, extremely expensive. I think it's about $800 plus for a steering wheel that's like carbon fiber and it looks really nice and clean. The controls, I believe there is aftermarket brackets that you can purchase for, you know, like a 350Z, G37, 370Z that they make to relocate the buttons right here. Yeah, we're pretty much here at Home Depot. Let's go ahead and look for these parts. All right, we just got back from the store and I'm pretty sure we got everything that we need in order to be able to install this. We got the T30 right here. It took me a while to find this one. It has to have the hole on the top. If you do not have this hole, you're not gonna be able to remove it because it's like a security bolt. I could not find something to replace that with at all. So this is just like aftermarket and it's custom. Now what I'm gonna go ahead and do is I already removed the red piece that comes on the end on one of these. Is I'm gonna cut this with my metal cutting scissors and place it right there and just cut it to where it looks almost exactly the same as that. Let's go ahead and do this. Once we're done attaching it, then we'll go ahead and add some electrical tape on it as well. Gonna cut it. All right, there you go. Now we just gotta cut it a little bit more to make it close to the size that it's supposed to be. Now, what we're gonna do is place this in here. Just like that, compress it, add some electrical tape, and boom, it should work. You can see it's pretty much like the exact same size. If anything, I may have to grind it down a little bit, but it should fit. Went ahead and compressed it. As you can see, it's not coming off. And then we're gonna go ahead and add electrical tape all the way up until like this point right here to protect it. So I got it to a good point where I'm okay with it. So we're gonna go ahead and put this on. I'm not sure if it's gonna work because, like I said, I still have my air light bag on, so it's still gonna come on no matter what. But right now, the first thing that we're gonna do is we're gonna go ahead and disconnect the battery on the M45 and leave it sitting for at least a few minutes. That way there's no power at all in the system when you try to remove the airbag, because if you don't disconnect the battery, there's a good probability that it may blow and you know, you're not gonna want it to blow in your face, trust me. So let's go ahead and do that really quick, and then we'll start removing those T30s bolts on the side of the airbag. Alright, so there's the T30 right there, and there's just a cover on here that you gotta remove. That off. Alright, we got one off. And the other one is now off. And now once you have them both removed on each side, then it should come right out. And there's a connection on the side. And then the ones to the airbag. So let's try to get this one on the side over here. Alright, and now to remove this, these come up. And you're gonna have to use a flathead in order to do that. I'm about to go get one right now. But they just pop right up and then it releases it. Just like that. And this one right here. There. And then now it's off. So this bolt should be a 19 mil. Yeah, it is. I'm gonna go ahead and break it. Just like that. I'm using a breaker bar with the 19, but it was actually pretty easy to remove. I didn't have to use a lot of force at all. Alright, so you don't want to loosen it all the way, just enough so you can try to remove the steering wheel now. There you go. Alright, now it's out. Alright, so I want to make sure that this is in line with this right here, and the back part, that white clip that I showed you guys, also has to be centered with that as well. So right now it's looking pretty good. I try to get it as close as possible, and honestly I think that is the best that it's gonna get. And then at this point you want to make sure that you get your wire through, and then you go ahead and throw this back on there. Now, one thing that I noticed is, I guess I probably won't be able to use my horn, just because you need a connection that goes to this right here, and I don't have that. I'm gonna have to order that if I want my horn to work. I usually never use my horn, so I don't think it's really like a big issue. But if you want it to work, which I honestly do want it to work, I'm gonna have to go ahead and get that piece to connect there. I'll see if they have it on Amazon or something. It shouldn't be too expensive, and I can even order it from NRG if I really want it. But yeah, like I said, white clip right there, or yeah, that white thing right there has to be centered on that line, and the same thing with this one. So we put it back on, and then we can put the bolt back in there. All right, and we connected this in here. As you can see, they both fit and work. This one was a little bit larger. I was still able to manage to push it in to get it to work. So now this is just gonna stick in here, and then we can go ahead and put the cover on here.
Alright, so I'm going to show you guys this anyway, even though I'm not going to be able to use it on my car for the horn. But if you had the assembly like this that connects to that for your horn, you would go ahead and actually connect it to the plug that comes like this to this yellow one right here on the right side. Now this one would go connected to this bracket right here, which would go on top of this. When you connect it like that, matches up with those holes, connect it there, and that's how your horn works, and it gets ground from this right here. So unfortunately I don't have that, but I'm thinking about taking the controls off because it looks like it's just a few screws, making my own bracket so the buttons can sit on the side, and then having my steering wheel. I plan on doing that for sure. I don't know if I'm going to do that today if I have time, but it should be pretty simple because all you really have to do is make those holes exactly where it's supposed to go, have a bracket that has some metal pieces on the side to mount it up, and just make, you know, the 2 screws for this right here. Honestly, it looks like it's just these 2 right here that should remove this, and this connects directly to it for your controls. That way you can still use them. So I'm thinking about doing that. I'll keep you guys updated if I do in the future. It'll be pretty sick to have the controls still there, and I could paint this right here if I don't like that it's gray. Just remove it, paint it black, and then put it back on the car. But yeah, now what's left to do is this would connect to that bracket like I mentioned, but there's no point in me connecting it right now because I don't have my horn. So I'm just gonna plug it in just like that, put the Allen key screws in there. Alright, so I got everything connected, but it looks like the steering wheel may have not been put in the right place when mounting it up to the car. So like right there you can see that it's slanted that way when it should be like upward right now. So let me go ahead and remove all the bolts right here, and then I'll go ahead and you know, turn it around, see if we can put it in the right location. Alright, so I had to remove the assembly, and right here you can see that there's the black wire and then the yellow wire. I'm pretty sure that the middle one is for the horn, which is the yellow one, and then this other one is going to be the ground, which is a black one. So you just got to connect it to it. This was positioned like this, so when you would lock it, it would sit like that, but it needs to sit like that. So I just got to put the things back in there. There you go, it's lining up right there. Got to put them back in there, that way it can sit like this instead of being all over the place how it was before. Alright, so now it's sitting in the right location, and this thing looks so sick. Just look at how different it makes the interior of the car look. It is a little bit higher now. Once I turn the car on, it should lower down a little bit, but nonetheless, this looks so sick. I love the Alcantara on this thing. Looks so clean. So now we gotta fix the horn, and how I plan on doing that is by using the same connections that the car already comes with, but making my own bracket to add the controls on here. So we're gonna do that hopefully very soon. I'm not sure if I'm gonna have time to do it today, but it is something I would like to do so I can keep it and also have my horn at the same time and not have to buy the connection for it. Because right now that's like my issue, is I would have to have that connection to connect it directly to the harness that goes inside, and then I can go ahead and connect it to the horn. But if I use the existing harness I already have, then I can keep my controls and also the horn. Just like that. Comes off, looks clean. And then this one, just put on, and there you go. The only thing I noticed is that this thing keeps popping off. It wasn't popping off before, so I'm not sure what I have to do to make it stick. Like, I just pull this thing outward a little bit, and then it's stuck on there a little bit better, but it like pops off sometimes for some reason. I'll look into that to see why it does that, but yeah, like right now it's good. It's not gonna pop off. Well, actually it will. But we'll see how we can fix that. I'm not sure why it keeps doing that. I'm sure there's something I'm doing wrong, but yeah, let's go ahead and connect the battery and then we'll see how it looks. Alright, so far so good. I like the positioning of it, where it's at. I actually have issues with my thing right here. It doesn't move forward or back, so it's actually not too far like forward or like back, so I'm okay with the positioning right now. But yo, you have to admit, look at that. That looks so sick. I'm gonna go ahead and try to fill this in because that's kind of bothering me right now. But overall, it looks so sick. Let's go ahead and drive it for a little bit. So far so good, no issues. It looks and feels so much better as well. I for sure like this thing. The car is dirty right now, of course. Haven't had a chance to clean it, but it's coming along. It looks pretty nice and clean. But look at that. That looks so sick. For sure, I'm gonna go ahead and try to fix that like horn issue. And then also to go ahead and add or relocate the buttons right here on the side. I'm gonna try to make my own bracket, see what I can do. It should be pretty easy, but I love this thing. It's so sick. Now the cool thing about this is that this is like universal, so I could easily buy another one for like my 370Z, and I can go ahead and just buy the hub, and I'll easily be able to place this steering wheel on that car and vice versa. But highly recommend it. If you guys don't know, this is actually for like a 350Z G35 setup, and it works on the M45 as you can see with no problems.
Alright guys, so we're gonna go ahead and end the video right there. As you guys can see, it came out amazing, and I honestly have no regrets with this purchase. It looks so sick and just changes the inside of the car. I would honestly have done this on the 370Z already, but I felt like the M45 needed it a lot more because of how bad that steering wheel looks. The 370Z still has a good looking steering wheel. It's not messed up or anything. So maybe in the future it will be something I do as well to this car if I end up keeping the Z for a lot longer. But yeah, really simple install. Honestly could take you less than an hour, maybe even 30 minutes depending on how fast you work and if you have the appropriate tools. It's very quick. And then the wiring shouldn't be very difficult. Most of it's plug and play, so as long as you have the tools that you need, it's going to be a very fast project. But the parts that I picked up are the DND steering wheel, the NRG quick release, and then I have the hub. I believe the hub is from like Amazon or something, but they're universal. They fit on all like 350Z, G37, G35, 370Z platforms. It's pretty much the exact same parts. The only thing that I will have to do custom is going to be that bracket. I need to get something that's going to be a little bit thicker, a little bit different design. I did look into the design for like a 350Z, and it's not going to work. You're going to have to build your own to make it work, and I will be doing that in the future because I want to have my horn and I want to have my control units, so be ready for that video. But yeah, thank you guys so much for watching. I'll link down in the description some things that you guys can pick up if you want to do this to your car. Very straightforward, and I think you guys will like it a lot. Thank you guys so much for watching. Make sure to like, subscribe, hit that bell notification, and I'll catch you guys in the next one. Peace.